First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Glover. Quinn there on the stop. On second down, here's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Stafford finds Roberts left side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Boston Scott, his first carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Scott. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, that's Scott. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Steps, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. On first down, Scott. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, Scott. They can't tackle him. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Fighting down past the 45. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now it's Jackson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin, and that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Dante Fowler in on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put
there. Didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. To the right side to Eric Ebron. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he connects with Ebron. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Scott. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Jackson on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go.
On third down, that's Scott, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, alert it, tag 53.
They go back to Abdullah on first. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, Abdullah. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford, he goes underneath to Abdullah. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A dump off for Abdullah. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. On the move to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. But pressure gets to him again. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Monday.
But a nice little gain. The reception.
Develop a little bit. You can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's back to throw. Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. His play in this game. He comes through picking up the first. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll be Brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Now he steps away. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Scott takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw is Jackson. To throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
All right, boys, here we go. On the ball, on the ball.
On second down, here's Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mitchell. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And 3 yards there. Takes him to the 45.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
We're rolling, we're rolling. All day, dog.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. The Lions on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Stafford now to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. He'll return it from the 6. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. dumps him for a loss of 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Jackson operating from the gun. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Boston Scott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Lions on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. And it's complete to Mitchell. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, tag 50 left.
Back to the ground now. Here's Abdullah. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now Stafford. Flushed out right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
On first down, Scott. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go again with Scott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Colts on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Tag 32. Tag 32.
Stafford. And hauled in by Croft. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very solid gain of 27.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. One last throw here for Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive